Doctrine of discovery in Lithuanian context. Many Baltic beliefs survived through oral culture and everyday life. I grew up in Lithuania with these traditions. The Swarming Dead, my work, explores the environmental consequences of eclipsing indigenous religion of Lithuania, articulating the expulsion of the sacred from the natural world as an unexamined element of Catholic hegemony. My grandfather was a beekeeper, so I inherited these traditions through my family. Another element of these traditions shows up very clearly through foraging, through mushroom foraging, berry foraging. The Swarming Dead is a metaphor which refers to Baltic religion and its imprint on modern Lithuania. The idea encompasses indigenous patterns and ways of life that persisted after Christianization of Lithuania and blended with secular life as folk culture. The Swarming Dead alludes to that indigenous vitality as it is revealed in contemporary Lithuanian practices. There are beliefs that continue into the 21st century that Velas, the souls of the dead, do not leave the earth upon death, but reincarnate into trees, flowers, bees, birds, or small animals. Most often, the soul of the dead reincarnated into trees. Men's souls became oaks, birches, and osiers. Women's souls turned into lindens and spruces. So it's a very animated landscape full of different spirits. You can still see in Western Lithuania cemeteries with zoomorphic wooden tombstones shaped as toads, other reptilians, flowers, birds, horses, and mushrooms. They still show this fluid relationship between humans and the natural world. The hard nucleus of indigenous culture gets passed through women, mothers, outside of surveilling institutions of organized religion. Here you see a team of ethnographers talking to a local herbalist. Europe discovered Lithuania in 1009 when Lithuania's name appeared in written sources. Baltic or Northern Crusades started the conquest of Lithuania. Western noblemen traveled to Lithuania's thick forests to hunt. There were many animals. The Crusaders and the Teutonic Knights enjoyed a religious rewards program that guaranteed them remission of sins in exchange of converting pagans to Christianity. So they put it on the map, and maps were a way to know and control nature. I'll show you one map. Here is the map of the area that is important for the context of doctrine of discovery. So most of the conflict in the history of Lithuania was over Samogitia, the region that was the most resistant to converting to Christianity. So when Jogaila accepted Christianity in 1387 through Poland by marrying Polish Princess Jadwiga, Lithuania did not just become Christian overnight. And Samogitia was still pagan, non-Christian. So that led to the Battle of Tannenberg in 1410, when Lithuanian-Polish Commonwealth crushed the Teutonic Order, which was the biggest enemy of Lithuania. And still, Samogitia was not settled. So that led to the 1414, the Council of Constance, when the question of Samogitians continued to be settled. And this is a kind of a key event for the context of the doctrine of discovery. So the Samogitians were very stubborn pagans. And The European and church development of the ideas behind discovery continued most significantly during this event over the controversy between Poland and the Teutonic Knights to control non-Christian Lithuania. This conflict again raised the question of legality of the seizure of infidels' lands by papal sanction because infidels lacked lawful dominion, that is, sovereignty and property rights. This text is by Robert Miller. The Council of Constance was called in 1414 to settle three major disputes, including the Knights' claim to Lithuania. The Knights argued that their territorial and jurisdictional claims could be traced to papal bulls from the crusading era, which had authorized the complete confiscation of the property and sovereignty of non-Christians. The infidels lacked dominion and therefore were subject to Christian control. These standards supported the idea that pagans had natural rights, but that they also had to comply with European concepts of natural law or risk being conquered. Thus, the Council of Constance formally defined the doctrine of discovery. To be considered civilized, a country had to be Christian because Christians simply refused to recognize the right of non-Christians to remain free of Christian dominion. This is Romuva, Ancient Baltic Religious Community in 2019. So this is where I crack a joke that the conversion did not work, at least for not for everybody. So Lithuania has a growing ancient Baltic community, Baltic religious community. Also, there are a lot of people who feel affinity for pre-Christian indigenous religion. And Romuva has over 5,000 registered members. And in 2019, they requested Lithuania for official recognition, and they were denied that official recognition. The Catholic Church played a big role in this decision by writing a letter to Lithuanian Seimas not supporting the recognition. So the Catholic Church continues to have hegemonic power in Lithuania. What's at stake is the environment. Current framework of domination is corporate greed. Currently, Western corporations such as IKEA is the biggest forest owner in Lithuania. Lithuania is currently suffering from intensive deforestation. There is nothing like ecological crisis to remind civilization that nature is never cheap. And that, to conclude, I want to say that there are no cheap souls in the cycle of the swarming dead, in the reincarnation cycle of the swarming dead, where humans and the natural world fluidly are interrelated with each other. Thank you for listening.